Well, good morning and welcome back to CityLine. I have with me three fabulous individuals who I'm going to say they probably love opera as much as I do. I had a grandmother who raised me or reared me on opera and classical music, and it was my mother's milk. If it was my mother's milk, it was their cereal because they know more than I do. So please join me in welcoming Noel Corin. You are the General Director of Tacoma Opera. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back here.
It's good to have you here. You are such a busy man. I don't get to spend a whole lot of time with you. But I'm always following what you are doing.
Oh.
And I am amazed how you continue to make opera accessible and fresh for the Tacoma audiences. So well done, my dear.
Thank you.
This handsome man next to you, you're welcome. I'm going to try my best to pronounce your name because it is exquisite. Enrique Carreron Robledo.
Yes.
Oh, I did it! Okay, see, hooked on phonics. You are the guest conductor.
I am.
And for this upcoming production of Lucia di Lammermoor. And wait.
Close.
What was it? Correct?
Lammermoor.
Lammermoor.
Yeah.
And let's look at these socks here. There it is. Look at the camera, sock cam. I got to tell you, I love a good pair of penny loafers and a good pair of Argyles, and you've hit it out of the park.
Well, I do have a thing for socks, and by now my son knows exactly where to shop and what kind of socks.
There we go. I think that for men, socks and pocket scarves are really the only way.
Pocket scarves.
Pocket scarves, ties, and sometimes frames are the way that you can really differentiate yourself. Speaking of great frames, this handsome man over here who rounds out the end of the couch, Igor Vieira.
There you go.
Oh, I did it! You are playing the role of Enrique.
Enrico.
Enrico.
Yes.
I love that. And I'm not going to make you sing, but we are going to talk about your role.
Sounds good.
Okay, good. So first off, I've already botched the name of the opera, but I want you to say it again correctly for us, Noel.
Lucia di Lammermoor.
I love that.
Yeah.
And who's the composer?
It's Gaetano Donizetti. And the story is actually based on a famous story by Sir Walter Scott. I believe it's called The Maid of Lammermoor, The Bride of Lammermoor.
Right. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so it's a famous 19th century poem and was actually composed, turned into musical work by a number of composers.
Oh, I love that. So this is an interesting question. What kind of opera is it, Enrique?
The first word that comes to mind is romantic. If we get a little more technical about it, it's a great representative of the bel canto style, which means beautiful singing. This incredible drama, this tragedy, is conveyed mainly by the human voice. But it's innovative, or it was innovated when it was composed by the part that the orchestra plays also by singing. And I have to tell you, that is one of the big reasons that I always accept invitations from Noel, that he so kindly brings me here, because his orchestra is a delight to work with.
Top notch.
Yes. And beyond the fantastic cast we have, that's another reason to come to the opera. If you've never seen one, this is a great one to come to for the first time.
Yes.
It has everything. One thing is hearing about opera, something else is hearing it and seeing it. So this is the one.
Sitting in the audience and being caught up in the rapture of opera, and before you know it, you have tears in your eyes and you didn't know you were crying. That is what opera does. And and it doesn't matter if you understand or don't understand, because it's universal. You will understand what is going on. You have to be dead not to understand what's going on.
Oh, totally. It comes through all your senses.
It does.
And people who unfortunately lack one of them will still absorb it from the others.
That's right. So a question for all three of you, and I want Igor to go first since he's been down there quietly listening. What's special about this opera from your point of view, from the role that you play?
Well, the one thing I would say, it's something that Enrique said just now. It's bel canto, so it's beautiful singing. So the music alone is worth coming see and listen to, because it's absolutely gorgeous music, like truly a masterpiece. On top of that, we have a wonderful cast. As Enrique said, a wonderful orchestra. So it is a feast for all senses. It's a feast for your ears. It's a feast for your eyes. It's a feast for your heart. So there are many reasons to come see it.
It hits on all levels. What would you add to that?
The chorus, it doesn't have one of those commercial chorus excerpts that you see everywhere in television or what have you, but the basis of all of that came after is right here. It has festive, it has beautiful, it has intense, and the whole spectacle
It's got
comes
it all
together that way. Yes,
I love that. And boy, I can just close my eyes and see the cast members on stage in these costumes and just the music soaring from the stage. And I can just see you on the downbeat there, Conductor. What's special about it for you?
Well, I would agree with both Enrique and Igor. For me as a stage director, this is an unusual undertaking, because as they both said, it's about the music, and it really is. And so my job as the stage director for this is really to not get in the way of the music.
Oh, I love that.
And let the music be the star of the show, and let the singers be the star of the show. And so I try my best to just remove myself as a stage director from imprinting my vision on the opera, and let the opera be about Donizetti, let the opera be about the singers, and let the opera be about the music and the story. It's a marvelous story, and it's a great romantic effort, tale. And I also agree. I want to add what Enrique said. The chorus is marvelous, and the choral music is just really stunning. And it is not one of your better known choral operas, but it's got some great, stunning choral music.
I love that. Let's talk about your role in this. First off, I want you to tell our audience, how long have you been singing opera, and at what moment were you bit?
Well, I've been doing it professionally for 25 years now.
Okay.
The first time I was bit by it was I was 7 years old. My parents took me to see Amadeus. And by the time I was 13, I was having voice lessons. By the time I was 17, I was singing professionally already in Brazil. And then I came here to study and stayed.
The rest is history, isn't it? Describe the character that you're playing for us.
Well, it's a fun character for me because I don't get to sing a lot of those. It's definitely the villain of the production. Yes,
a baby face like you gets to be a villain.
Thank you. Yes, it's a rather nasty character. It's a very self-centered, egotistical guy that uses his sister to accomplish his agenda, to fulfill his agenda. And on top of that is phenomenal music, as I mentioned before. So it's a lot of fun to be singing this role. And also, Noel doesn't know about this, but it's the first time I'm singing this role. And it's going to be the 100th role of my career.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, okay, so bravo.
Thank you.
There we go. So Noel, where is the opera being performed?
We're performing it here in Tacoma at the Theater on the Square.
Intimate.
The very intimate. And that's actually one of the things that we at Tacoma Opera are really trying to focus on, is that for us, opera is up close and personal.
Yes.
And it gives people a unique vision and a unique way of experiencing opera, because it's no longer the grandiose play that's taking place a mile away in a
the
big
balcony
opera.
And the opera glasses.
Yes, exactly.
And
so it really is a wonderful experience for the audience to be able to sort of feel the spit from the singer.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, I mean, and
so
for
you're that close.
For those of us who know opera, to watch their diaphragm fill up and just to wait for it.
But you can almost you don't just hear the music, you feel the music, you feel the emotion. And so that's why we love being in this tiny little theater. And so we're really looking forward. It's a great way to experience this opera.
Oh, I can't wait. So who do we need to thank for all of this operatic bel canto?
Well, first and foremost, we need to thank our sponsor, Columbia Bank. I know we should, yes, but they're the main sponsor for this production. And there are so many people, the people, the subscribers, the patrons. We're nothing without the people for whom we perform.
Yes.
And so I want to thank everybody, really. And I want to thank these gentlemen here and everybody else in the cast. I'm very grateful to have such an incredible team of people behind. And it takes a lot of people to put these things on.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you because every time that you are in this studio, I see such a high sense of regard from your conductors and from your artists for you, and they talk about how much they'd love to come and be a part of Tacoma Opera, and you have this legacy that you are building. So thank you for treating this gift so beautifully.
Very kind of you.
And for you two, thank you so much for being so generous with your gifts and for letting us bask in your glory. And I cannot wait. I'm going to go online and get my tickets. I cannot wait to be a part of this. So
Please,
thank you so much. And I want you back here again with the next production because we're not done, mister.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, Tacoma City Ballet is getting warmed up. They will be in the house in their costumes. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.